of Resource Central. We are thrilled to be able to welcome you on Facebook Live for a big celebration today. This is a groundbreaking we have today. This is years in the making, actually decades in the making, because what we're doing here is not just helping the community to reuse building materials, but we're actually building a national model of reducing waste so that it's not just something that can make a difference in our community, but something that can be replicated in other communities as well. So we're thrilled to be able to welcome you, and to help celebrate this day, I have some special guest speakers who will be joining me in just a moment. But a little perspective here, this truly is, decades in the making there. This whole effort started about more than 20 years ago. There was a group of concerned citizens that were over at the West End Tavern, over on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder. And at the West End Tavern, they were meeting for happy hour, just enjoying a beer, enjoying some wine, and they're looking out, coming down on 9th Street, were trucks streaming down the hill with roll-offs filled with materials that were going to the landfill. And they thought, this is crazy. These trucks clearly are coming from a renovation project where they have cabinets and doors and windows, and they're clearly going to be going to the landfill. And they thought, what if we could create a way where we could reuse some of these materials and as a result make them available to the community? And thus the seeds of Resource Central were born. Fast forward years later, I'm proud to confirm that we have been able to divert more than 50 million pounds of building materials from landfills through reuse, which is really exciting, because not only is this a zero waste project, but this is actually an effort that helps people save money too, because we're able to make those materials available, doors and windows and cabinets and lumber and plumbing supplies and other materials, available to people at 25 cents on the dollar. So through this program, we've been successful at being able to help people save millions and millions of dollars on their home improvement projects. So good for the planet, certainly good for the pocketbook, but this is also a climate action program too, because every time we're able to reuse cabinets, to reuse windows, those are cabinets and windows that don't have to be manufactured halfway across the world and transported here. So we are helping to reduce carbon emissions through this program as well. So zero waste, climate action, and helping people save money. It's a no-brainer. Behind me, that you'll see in a second, we actually have our outdoor materials yard here in East Boulder. We normally have it filled with building materials. We have painstakingly removed all of those materials in the rain, battling hypothermia, but to be able to get ready for today's groundbreaking. Because what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be beginning the covering of an outdoor materials yard. We're going to be drilling the pylons and get ready to construct a steel canopy that can cover the outdoor materials yard. Well, why do we need that? Well, in the wintertime, regularly snow covers and coats our materials, and all too often ruins the materials so they can't be available for reuse. All too often in the springtime, the spring rains come on down and soak the materials, and soak our program participants, and soak our staff members, and that obviously doesn't help to divert materials from landfills. Also in the summertime, the asphalt can cook regularly to over 100 degrees. It's not the most comfortable experience. We're going to change that starting today. So we are thrilled to be able to have our groundbreaking ceremony today. This afternoon we actually will be drilling and beginning the process of constructing these exciting facility improvements. So we have already begun our warehouse improvements. We've been able to add insulation for our warehouse. We've been able to add air conditioning and heating systems. Imagine that! We're actually able to get air conditioning and heating in 2021. And not only that, we're adding bathrooms and being able to just make the whole environment the kind of environment you'd expect for a national leading effort that can help to reduce waste. So I'm thrilled to be able to have some guest speakers to be able to help provide some perspective on this historic day, on this as part of the celebration. So I'm thrilled to be able to welcome Boulder Mayor Sam Weaver.
Well, thank you everyone. I'm glad to be here and thank you for having me. I have to say, this is the second event that I've done without a mask, and it is a wonderful thing to be coming out of it, be able to hug people for the first time in a while, so I'm looking forward to more of this spring. Just before the pandemic, the City of Boulder commissioned a study to look at how circular our economy is currently. And the study looked at all the materials that are going into Boulder and then what's happening to them within Boulder and then where they go once they become waste. And this was done in an effort to identify opportunities to make our society here more circular and less linear in the take and make and dispose path of the way that we use materials. The study included recommendations from staff that would help products, components, and materials be able to be reused and put to their best use locally, essentially moving Boulder more towards a circular economy. Several of the key takeaways from the study that relate to activities which occur here at the resource site include the fact that building materials are some of the easiest products to reuse in their original form for new construction projects, and electronics are a big problem. It's about a third of the emissions associated with stuff that's consumed here in Boulder. And so a little history, the City of Boulder purchased this property in 2008. It was a partnership with Ecocycle, with the county, with Resource Central. And the idea was to make a permanent home for a zero waste nonprofit center so that we would be able to host the folks who are trying to help us become a more circular economy. And what we strive for here is what Neil told you about, is a used materials, a building materials yard, which we're going to cover, and then the Center for Hard to Recycle Materials. And there's more that you'll probably hear about that. But over the past 13 years, the city has proven its commitment to zero waste, as evidenced by the growth in the customers that have been coming in here. And some of the improvements that are going to come from the project that's behind us right now are, as you heard, building new restrooms. It is nice in the 21st century to be able to have a place to use the restroom inside. Add energy efficiency improvements. If we want to have a circular economy, you'd want the operation to be as efficient as possible. Covering the outdoor yard, of course, you heard about that. And then adding on-site solar to the canopy to offset the consumption on site. So this is a great project that brings a bunch of different parts together in one location. And this is partly funded through the Community Culture and Safety Tax, which this was the second round that Boulder voters approved. And the way that we've set up the Community Culture and Safety Tax is as a matching grant, essentially. And so what this said was, we will give the city a grant of up to $1 million if the nonprofit can raise up to $1 million to match. And they have. And with the initial funding, you've seen what's going to happen here. And I'm really excited on behalf of City Council and everybody in Boulder to see this next phase happen, because it will up the game to the next level of being able to do it. And I guess I'll just close here by saying that, you know, this is a big group effort from the whole county, all the nonprofit partners, the city, and our neighboring cities to be able to bring a new way of looking at the way that we use the materials that kind of power our lives. And as I like to say when I first ran for City Council, is people think about throwing things away, but there is no away, right? And this is a way of making the away someplace where things can be reused. So thanks to Neil and everybody for bringing this together, and I look forward to the next step in this evolution.
Thank you, Mayor Weaver. And we are also very thrilled to be able to have an additional guest from the City of Boulder, because we have multiple partners that have helped to make this project successful, but no one has been more involved in this project more than Kara Mertz. Please help me welcome Kara Mertz from the City of Boulder.
Thank you. I guess I could do this now. So exciting. Thank you so much, Neil. Thank you, Sam. You know, I am thinking back to when I first arrived in Boulder at the beginning of 1993. Resource 2000 at the time represented a vision of the future in the year 2000. And today, it's solidly in the rearview mirror. The shanty town of prefab warehouses built on dirt and month-to-month leases is giving way to this very real, very grown-up construction project. I'm so proud of these two organizations and the community, really, that has enthusiastically supported these organizations over the past 40 plus years. I feel like together we've worked really hard to evolve our relationship, the city with Ecocycle, the city with Resource, and really, dare I say, Resource and Ecocycle together. I think together you have realized how fortunate it is that the other is here, and how together we can really create this demonstration and an interactive place where the public can tangibly understand what the circular economy means. Dropping off old, hard to recycle junk, and at the same time be inspired to create art, remodel their home, fix that French drain that's been broken for so very long. Today really is a very exciting day for so many reasons, and looking toward the future, there's so much promise in these site improvements. Reconfiguring the site for easier access, increasing the throughput of materials, building a roof to protect the reusable materials once they're here, adding solar panels to power the circular economy, and all the while building capacity to inspire Boulder County innovation that uses these hard to recycle materials for lower cost construction projects, upcycled art, and all sorts of creative innovation. I can't wait to see what happens next, and so excited to have been a part of it for so long. Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. So one of the things that's very unique about making this site a regional destination is the collaboration that takes place with the community, but also with our neighbor and very special partner, Ecocycle. Please help me welcome the Executive Director of Ecocycle, Suzanne Jones.
Good morning. Thanks to Neil and the entire Resource Central crew, to Mayor Weaver and Kara from the city. It's really great to be here. I'm Suzanne Jones, Executive Director of Ecocycle. This year, Ecocycle turns 45. I believe Resource Central does as well. And throughout our histories, we have come together as sister organizations and in partnership with the City of Boulder to figure out the programs and infrastructure needed to move our community forward on the reduce, reuse, recycle spectrum, and to help our community reach its climate and sustainability goals. And one of the essential facilities that was created was here at 6400 Arapahoe, where Ecocycle and City of Boulder's Center for Hard to Recycle Materials, or the CHARM, is co-located with the Resource Central's Resource Yard. And it's a wonderful marriage, and it has accomplished a whole lot over the years, and ready for more expansion. This year I'll note that the CHARM is 20 years old, and it started out as a brainchild between Ecocycle and the City of Boulder. It was the first of its kind facility. We began with a collection of electronics back in 2001, and now we accept over 29 hard to recycle materials, the stuff that doesn't go in the single stream bin. Everything from mattresses and toilets to styrofoam and plastic bags. And I think we now accept more materials here for recycling than any other organization we're aware of. So it's become a real national and even global model. And this partnership with Resource is particularly convenient because folks, residents, businesses can come here and donate reuse items, purchase reuse items, and what can't be reused can often be recycled, and you can do it all in one spot. And so increasing the accessibility, the convenience, and the inclusion of more and more in the community coming to this site is part of the vision for this hub and part of the direct results of these improvements. And I'll just note that when we first started in 2001, we had about 5,000 visitors a year. Now we're up to 50,000, and this is just on the CHARM side. The fact that each year it grows more and more, I think, is indication of the interest that our community has in figuring out zero waste, addressing consumption emissions, and really doing their part to create a national model, as Neil said. And so today we celebrate not just a ribbon cutting, but this coming together of nonprofits, local governments to create jobs, to create opportunities for reduce, reuse, recycle, and spin-off businesses to inspire entrepreneurs, and to reduce our resource and carbon footprint. So in this time of climate change, we can't afford to be timid. It's time to go big. It's time to create models that are replicable around the world, and this is one of them. So here's to the vision, here's to the partnership, and we're so excited to be a part of this with all of you.
Thanks so much, Zan. We're also, for us to be able to continue to take it to the next level, to make this project successful, obviously it really depends on involvement from the community. It involves being able to bring the community into the success of this program. And to help provide some perspective on that, I'm thrilled to welcome Coelle Tomei, who is a member of our board of directors. She's also the co-founder of Nusa Yogurt. And please help me welcome Coelle.
Good day and good morning, everyone. Thank you, Neil. So I am the co-founder of Nusa Yogurt and a very proud member of Resource Central's board of directors. And my family decided to give to this campaign because we really wanted to see environmental impact right in our backyard. And we know through our donation, we're helping Resource be able to double their impact over the next 6 years. And that's something that's really tangible and really gratifying. And while we are close to reaching the finish line, we are not quite there. So today I invite you, our amazing local community, to join me, to join Resource, to join everybody that's already donated to this campaign. And it's really simple. You just need to go to Resource Central's website, and that is resourcecentral.org. And you'll see a donate now on the top right-hand side of the web page. And you too can be part of environmental impact right here in your local backyard. Any amount is welcome, and we invite you to join us today, in the coming days. Again, that's resourcecentral.org. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you in advance for joining us and supporting us.
Thanks so much, Coelle. It's such an important part there because we've actually been successful at being able to raise more than 90% of the funds to help make this project successful. But to get us across the finish line, it really does take a village. It takes the community support there. So I hope you'll support this important project and help us make sure that we can continue to not just reuse building materials, but to double our impact over the next 6 years. So with that, it's time to bring out the golden shovel and to begin our ceremonial groundbreaking. All right, so we have shovels for everyone here.